As you can see, let me balance you on my bananas. Things that I balance y'all on. Y'all would not believe. I had hoped to go with him today, but if anybody has been watching the weather in or near the Cumberland Plateau, you have noticed that it has just been remarkably severe, icky. Now it's cold, windy, rainy. It's not good weather for me and my health. Now, my health is doing actually some better. My eustachian tube that hasn't worked in a number of years is actually draining. Amazing, I know, just amazing. But we really, with the way the weather was this morning, I got up and put on a little Deb makeup and really had intentions of going, but the mist is not burning off the mountain this morning. It looks like all the bunnies burned their breakfast, and it's just icky and dismal. Now, will there still be people at this festival? Absolutely. Not everyone has a neuromuscular disorder that keeps them from enjoying life. So David is going on. He does have a pop-up tent. He's got plenty of layers to wear, and hopefully as the day goes on, maybe the sun this afternoon may pop out before the music and stuff starts. He's not going to stay super late. It doesn't start until 11 our time, so he should get there and have 10 minutes to set up, and that's about all it'll take to pop up tent and unload his furs. And it's just, it's 40 minutes down the road. So it's not a huge endeavor, blah, blah, blah. But I'm still kind of bummed that the weather, the one day that I wanted to do something was the one day the weather dropped 20 degrees plus and decided to be an absolute jerk. So I really wanted to go. And also, Lane will be there. So David will not be alone. Lane will be there later. And I was looking forward to spending the day with Lane as well. But this weather is just, I know better than to try. I'm a little swollen already from it, and it's just my RSD. It's not any sickness or anything. It's just my RSD reacting to the front and the barometric pressure and making me a little puffy. Is it normal? Is it like normal, like when I normally like get really, no. Look, you can still see the nipples in my nose. I'm not swelling like I used to. So the last month has seen me changed a lot. I know you can see the loose skin from where I had the mastoiditis and I was so swollen last year. I now have all this loose skin. No, I'm not going to be getting a lift. I'm too poor. I'm just going to have a waddle, I guess, for the rest of my life. But you can tell that I'm no longer swelling like I used to. Y'all, I've changed nothing. I mean, we eat a little bit better, but we've been eating a little bit better for quite a while now. I've changed nothing except for that young woman that came and brought me some gemstones and some quartz and some rose quartz and some like homeopathic kind of not Western medicine help, okay? And I'm just trying to put it in general terms, It's nothing, nothing weird or anything. It's just stuff that your body needs to be around, that society has gradually moved away from, that your body needs to be around. And it's like when they sell you water, they take the minerals out of the water, but then they sell you back the minerals in bottles as supplements. Why don't you just leave the minerals in the water? Anyway. So I live a very rural life, and I know that my body needs more grounding than most people because I'm very country and I'm very much from the woods and from the mountain. And so this has not been difficult at all for me to accept the thinking behind it, the logic behind it, because I know how I feel when I go barefoot. And when I grew up, I would lick the salt licks. I was just a kid. You got a salt lick somewhere, you'd lick it. You was just a kid. But I understand more, I think, about myself the more I undo the way that the doctors were trying to program me when I started learning about this neuromuscular disorder. Because it was a lot of convoluted financial jargon. And I've had to backtrack, unweave, unwind, unprogram, and kind of reevaluate and get back with my body and in touch with my body about a few things. And I'm doing better. Imagine that. And yeah, I probably live a healthier lifestyle than most. And when I was super healthy, lived a super healthy lifestyle. So that's helped me. When I got super sick, it helped me. because I had been super healthy and super stacked and packed and weightlifting and, eating homegrown meats and veggies and stuff. So that helped. And that maybe that's why my RSD hasn't been like so many other people's and just completely tanked them. Maybe that's why I kind of do these plateaus and hold. But I just feel blessed that this lady came into my life and has kind of filled in some of the gaps that I did not know, because there's just not a lot of education out there, because they don't want the education out there. Yeah, that's why I didn't go with Dave. My RSD is aggravated today as well, but I'm still doing much better than I normally would. So I'm very excited about how my body's responding here lately. My doctor's really excited. I had a calcified, like, my eustachian tube was dead. It was not working. Like, they were going to put in a tube. It was not draining. Mastoiditis. Almost had the bone scrape surgery. It's working. It's draining. It's actually the healthier ear out of the two right now with all this weather we're going through. My doctor's stumped. I love stumping medical professionals. It just is like, it makes me so happy. But I did not want to chance it. I am, like, my biceps are puffy today, and my upper body and upper back are a little puffy, and I thought, and I got up and I got dressed, and I was like, I'm going to go with Dave. And he was like, I don't think you need to try it. He's like, you're doing so good. I don't want you to take a back step. So he's like, just stay home. I really need to clean my kitchen anyway, because I've been helping him get ready for this, and my kitchen looks like a hurricane went through. Hi, Priscilla. So he's by himself. Lane will be with him here in an hour or so. I told him to have a good time and try to enjoy the music and the people. I'm not upset that I didn't get to go. I like to socialize, and I really wanted to socialize, but I also know I have limits. And where it's raining, super muddy, I was also very scared about slipping and falling. Because I do really good for the first couple hours I'm up, and then, like, I have a limited number of steps, and my body goes, okay, lady, count down. But I don't know when it's going to happen. So I just have to really listen to my body. And I was afraid with all the wet weather and all the mud that it was going to be a difficult journey for me today. So I'm actually kind of glad that David and I sat down, and he was like, I just don't think you need to try it. He's like, I don't want to see you go backwards because you've been doing so well. Plus, tomorrow's Mother's Day, and as much as I wanted to spend today with Lane, tomorrow's Mother's Day, and I do actually want to, like, be able to enjoy Mother's Day. So he was afraid if I overdid it in this weather, I would not be able to enjoy tomorrow. So I'm actually going to go spend Monday or Tuesday with my mother down under the mountain. So I will probably have another video of down under the mountain next week for you. I do have exciting news, though. So last week we get a call, and it is from a facility down in the Big South Fork, which is just about 30 minutes away. I say down because everywhere we go from our house, you have to slide off this stupid plateau. Everything's down. It's called True West Campground, and they throw big shindigs for, like, the real rich trail riders that have the big, $200,000 rigs plus, and the horses that get trained by other people. So, but they throw really great shindigs and, like, family environment shindigs, and they throw a really big one every summer. And we've never gone because I've not trail rode in a number of years, and we've kind of gotten away from the horse community. We didn't know that they were trying to grow it into a music, like, vendor craft kind of thing. So they actually called David, and they were like, hey, are you the fur guy? And he was like, yeah. And they were like, we actually want you here. We're trying to get more authentic crafts and vendors here. We want you here. And they're like, and is that redheaded, bearded boy that does chainsaw car, is that your boy? And he's like, no, it's my boy. And they're like, we want him to do live demonstrations. Can you all do this? June the 11th. And Dave was like, sure. So they got personally invited to go down to the True West Campground on June the 11th to do this big shindig. They're going to have a place set up for Lane to do demonstrations off and on all day long, and he's going to be able to sell all his stuff there too. David's going to go set up as a fur vendor. And I contacted one of my friends and his mom, so two, and they are members of the Cherokee Nation. Now, years ago, I was one generation removed from the lineage, from the bloodline percentage to join. Now I think I could probably go ahead and join and go through the formal naming ceremony. But I was brought in with the kids because my mother was a member, and I was given my little name. It just wasn't formalized because I couldn't join because of the blood percentage. I was one generation removed. So I'm going to look into going ahead and probably joining and making it formal now, since they've changed things a little bit. But two of my friends, one of my friends and his mother, he's an EMT, like firefighter, and she's just recently moved back to the area from living down toward Chattanooga. They're members of the Cherokee Nation, and they do the hand beaded crafts and the mocks and some stuff. And we invited them to go with us and to wear their full regalia that day and to educate about the Cherokee Nation. So we're going to go with chainsaw carving. We're going to go with fur art. We're going to go with some of my textiles, and I'm bringing representatives of my tribe. So, I mean, it's really easy, for people to say, oh, you're making native stuff. Are you native? And I'm like, yes, I am. But they look at me and all they see is my ruddy complexion and my freckles. And y'all know I have the high cheekbones and I have the eyes. And it's easy to tell if you're looking for it. But in the sun, I just look like another Irish potato farmer that's, freckled to death. And so I get a lot of mixed looks from people, but I'm so glad that my friends are going to be going with me. And that they won't, they have their proof, and they do everything's handmade. They do awesome work, and I hope to share a lot of that. And since she's moved back to the area, I hope to be spending a lot of time with her. She gets easily bored, and I'm alone all the time, and that could be she could be here a lot. We could be doing a lot of stuff. So I think that will be a good environment, and that's June the 11th. So, we've got about a month to prep for that. So I'm just extremely proud that my son's work is being rewarded with a lot of energy and a lot of people that are excited about what he's capable of doing and the work he's done thus far. And I know that you guys think he's super talented, but I kind of, I make you biased because he's my kid, but I'm just excited to see him get validated in the community and to have people say, yes, you are talented. We want you to show other people your skills. And it's nice as a mother to have a extremely young son. He's not even 24 yet. He's fixing to be 24 at the end of the month. To be revered as an old soul and someone that is going already at 24 is keeping and transitioning these skills to the next generation. I'm just really proud of that. We like to hang on to the old ways of life around here, if anyone hasn't noticed. So I didn't get to go today, but I do have another one that's coming up that looks like it will be just as close and probably better weather and better suited for my body to go out on a day. And then we have some later in the summer there's one more that's really close, and then there's a couple that Dave will have to go to alone. But I didn't get to go today. But he is there. He's going to probably take some pictures, and I hope they've been like advertising this through Knoxville and everywhere. So I hope they get a good crowd, even with the weather. I hope this burns off. It doesn't look like it's going to burn off much. The wind was the big indicator that told me I did not need to go because the back end of the barometric pressure hurts me more than the front end half the time. So I was afraid, and David was afraid we would get over there and my body would basically shut down and he would have to bring me home well before he needed to leave. And then I would, we'd pay a vendor site and then get it cut short because of me and my issues. This is the life of someone with a disability. Make plans, and I get really excited, and I don't always get to go and follow through. But I am focused on the next option and the next opportunity, so it's not a completely sad day. And I'm not going to lie, I need to clean the kitchen. It's pretty bad. I've been terribly busy this week, and with the weather, it's been a slow week for my body. But it's been a consistent week. And for the weather systems that we've had come through with severe weather and tornadoes, my body has done better than normal. So I'm very happy to report that. So David should send us back some. Yes, you're propped up on my bananas. Yes, you're on my bananas. I just, it is what it is. I use what I have. I'm probably fixing to eat it too. Just you're propped up on a whole group of bananas. I should have said, no, I'm just happy to see you. But I wanted to get on here just before, I sat down and got quiet. I just got David on the road, and I just thought, well, I'll do it now and just let everybody know. Still hoping to get pictures for you and still hoping to have good news from David about it. And I'm really hoping that this stupid mist will burn off the mountain. It looks like one of those days. It's just, there's nothing on the radar, but it's just going to not leave the tippy top of the crag. So, and it's like 50 something. It's kind of chilly here. So I'm going to be home today cleaning, which is probably what I need to be doing. Let's just be honest. My kitchen's bad. But tomorrow I will get to see the kids. So yeah, it's just this weather, man. This last 3 days of consistent severe weather. I'm amazed that I'm functioning. And most of the swelling I have is right through my back and my biceps, which is where I tend to swell the easiest when I get irritated. But now my legs are not super swollen. So, and I'm still got all my loose skin, so I'm not swollen up here anymore. Where I've deflated so much from where I had all that mastoiditis, I've now got all this loose skin, and I know it's unattractive, but you know something? Y'all come here for my personality, let's just be honest. Not my looks. So, I know this is like one of those last little winter snaps. What is it? Oh, there's dogwood winter, blackberry winter. Anyway, I'm so sick of them. They can all go away. I'm just sick of them. But it never fails. The one day that I try to make plans is the one day the weather will cramp my body and create an issue that I'm terrified to try to test myself and my lemons. But I'm glad that David's still going. I'm glad that Lane's still going. And, it'd probably be a good day for them because, they're big burly guys and they like cooler weather. Lane will probably be carving a little bit, so it'll be good for him. But I really wanted to spend the day with my guys. Unfortunately, Kaylee has to work, so Kaylee wasn't going to be able to go. But I was looking forward to spending the day with my guys. But that's okay. I will get to see them tomorrow. And today I'm going to get my house in order. And I think if I could tell anybody one thing to do today, one thing to watch to put a wrinkle in your brain, is to go watch The Facts Matter with Roman. He's got a last name starts with B. And he just went through the last Pfizer dump of however many thousands of pages they had to give this month. Go read what they knew last year and did not tell us. It's bad. But go put a wrinkle in your brain. And then when you put that wrinkle in your brain, follow the trail and put a few more wrinkles in your brain. Hi, Mimi. How are you doing? Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. We're getting more and more offers for more and more festivals, and David and Lane are getting really kind of well known for their artisan stuff. So I'm just tickled that they're taking off and they're getting well known and they're getting opportunities. And if I get to go and I feel like I can go and try it, that's great. But David and I, we made a joint decision this morning. It just was not worth me going backwards. I've been progressing for 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks with my health now. Yeah, and I'm unswollen and I'm losing weight. We've had to change because David got diagnosed also with Rocky Mountain spotted fever. Jesus. I know you think I can bench press a Buick, but I can't. But we've had to change a little bit of everything. We eat pretty healthy anyway. I don't lose a lot of weight because I don't do a whole lot because of my disability. But we've had to change it even more because of David's specific requirements and the medication he has to take for this. So yeah, I think we're probably both losing a few more pounds. I say as I'm fixing to make more jelly. But my body is doing so much better. Like I almost, I'm scared to talk about it because this is like the longest in a year and a half, almost 2 years, that it's consistently gone upward and done well. So I'm almost scared to talk about it because I'm afraid I'll jinx myself. And even with the severe weather, I've done so much better. And I just feel a positive push. And yeah, spring and summer are really good for me, and I always enjoy them. But there's an additional push that I feel, that is not normal, that hasn't been with me in several years. And I'm just really enjoying feeling that push again. And I'm hoping that that is a good sign for my body, and that maybe it is healing something that had not been healing because of, there are certain choices that doctors make, that I think are the wrong choices. And I think some of my specialists had made some wrong choices. And I think in the process of the last year, me and undoing a lot of their choices and stripping down some of their treatment protocol, and trying some different things, I think it has really allowed my body to go, oh, wait, I know how to do this. And so it's kind of taken back its own power again. Um, am I going to be completely well? No. I mean, I'm going to be fighting with this for the rest of my life. It has spread to my organs, and it does affect every day. But I'm functioning better, and I will take any bit of function I can get because I have a grandbaby on the way, and I don't want to be the grandma that they're scared to hand the grandbaby to. I don't want to be that grandma. So I'm working very hard to try to get my energy level back up in my core muscles back up, because they got ruined in January, February with that big injury, that back injury I had. So I'm just taking it a day at a time, but I feel very positive about the future and where things are going and how my body is doing. But I do still have to take the hints that Mother Nature gives me, and I'm not trying her today. Yes, Priscilla, we are bonded for life pretty much at this point. I don't, the Lord didn't put us on the same ridge. I'm probably a good reason. We would probably drive people nuts. But yeah, yes, you've been probably one of the biggest, like, people that keeps me on task and it checks in and kind of makes sure that I'm still moving forward when I'm having rough days, and I appreciate that. So I'm inside. As you can tell, my heat's running. It's cold here. It's windy. It's misty. It's rainy. It's just, the air is just, it's just a cloud swirling on the mountaintop. It's just mist doing this. So I was not going to try it. David didn't want me to do it. But I will report back how he does. This is the first year of this event, so we're all kind of questioning what the group of people that show up, what they will want to buy, what they will be inclined to purchase, what they are there for. You just kind of have to feel these things out. So we don't really know what to expect from this first annual music festival in Morgan County. But it's exciting to have something closer to go to. So David was willing to try it and give it a go. Lane normally does well wherever he goes, so I will give you an update later today to let you know how they did, though. Are you actually? See, maybe I just want to put you there because, and I do that with JJ and Kelsey too. I'm in my brain. I know Virginia and West Virginia. I like to relocate people. In my brain, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I've met, why keep jar on the table? I've met lots of people from both Virginia and West Virginia in the last 2 years. And so maybe that's what keeps getting me screwed up. But anyway, I'm going to attack the house. The cats have already been knocking on the door and been fed. I've had a big morning, gotten David packed and helped him go. Please relocate you from northern. You're going to learn to identify as an Appalachian from the Cumberland Plateau. But I've already had a big morning. So what I plan to do is, since I've got David off, I'm going to eat me by lunch. I'm going to rest for a few minutes. And then when I get up, I'm going to do a push to clean my house. And then I'm going to try to take it easy I'm not going to clean my whole house. I'm just going to clean my kitchen and living room. Let's just be honest. Then I'm going to take it easy and make sure I stretch regular and drink a lot of fluids today because I want to be able to enjoy tomorrow. And I hope everybody has a great Mother's Day. And then I'll probably have a video for you on Tuesday evening, at least by Tuesday evening, because I'm going to go down and spend Monday or Tuesday with my mom. And she's had 2 eye surgeries in the last 2 months, and it has just taken a toll on her. And she's gotten into the caregiving process, the part of the caregiving process where it's just complete burnout. And I'm useless with my body and the things that I go through, and her being just as far away as she is, it just makes it difficult enough for me to try to be useful and helpful. So I'm really not helpful. And I feel bad about that. But if I feel good enough, I try to go down and at least spend days with her and make her laugh and smile and joke and giggle and try to help where I can. Because I know the caregiver burnout is real. She was a school teacher, is extremely social as well, and now does not get out, is completely homebound with Granny. And that takes an emotional, physical, mental toll on her as well. So I'm going to try to go and spend the day with her. And so we're just going to celebrate Mother's Day a day or 2 behind, so I can stay the whole day. And that's kind of the plan for the week. By the end of the week, it's going to be super warm here again. And so I'm hoping to be back out in the sun and doing well. Hazard is not super far from, I mean, we're almost, I am spitting distance to the Kentucky line. I mean, that's just the truth of it. So, Kentucky's a pretty place. I mean, it pretty much feels like home because it looks the same as where I'm from. And there are lots of parts of Virginia and West Virginia especially, that looks a lot like where I'm from. We're just one of the hidey holes on the Cumberland Plateau that is just really rural. But now that we've had a lot of new implants in the last year, and most of them have been very positive, new people. And I like it when we get new people. Some people don't, but I like it. I think a change of temperament and a few more viewpoints is a great thing. But most of the people that move here because they've researched the area and they like the heritage and the culture. So they move here with an open heart for the crazy people that live here. So we normally have really good implants. So we like them. And once you move here and you accept this crazy place, we just kind of latch on to you and just say you belong here. So we have a really big Chinese American population here, and they're very well known. We have a very large, I guess what you call it, Latina, Hispanic population here, and they run some very prominent businesses, and they're a great family, very popular family. We're a fishing community, so a lot of, like, when we all go fishing or we go to fishing competitions, you will basically see every culture represented at our fishing competitions. And so for people that say Appalachia is so homogenous, I'm like, have you been here lately? Because we're not. We have a lot of different cultures represented here, and we all really like each other. And we all really take care of each other. So when people talk about, like, how backwards Appalachia is, I'm like, we're really not. We're very protective of our own, but our own is not, it doesn't mean a specific culture or race, creed, color. It just means the people that love the land here. That's our people. And so I think we have a really beautiful community. It's grown a lot in the last couple of years though. But I think that's a good thing. And we've got a lot of new people getting in, bringing in a lot more money for the agriculture and the tourism, and it's benefiting us right now. Now, will there come a time to where it doesn't benefit us? Yes, because land prices and land taxes and when they raise the median income, it can become an issue because we are very poor here. But I try to focus on the positives. So I try to see the positives. So what it costs us right now in land taxes and some other stuff, it's worth it for me to see the area blossom and for the boost for the community and the area as far as, because we get a lot more um, ag business and ag jobs and tourism business and tourism jobs. So it's creating an income for a lot of people. So it kind of balances out. But I'm anybody that says Appalachia is is not a loving place and is strictly white. You have not been to my corner of Appalachia, because we literally have everyone represented here and we love them all. And if you go fishing in Del Holla, you're going to see every creed represented, and we're all going to get along with each other because we're all going after the biggest catfish in the freaking lake, and they're whoppers. But we all get along really well here. We don't have hate crimes. We don't have community issues. We don't, and if it is a squabble, it's that your dog got in my yard, run through my vegetable garden, and tore up my prized pumpkin vine. Get him. It's those issues. So we don't have a lot of drama. If you look at the crime rate, I mean, the predominant crime is the predominant crime that's everywhere. It's drugs or it's domestic violence that's found everywhere. It is not any more huge percentage here than is anywhere else. It's just that I think we just take note of it more because we pay attention more than we, in cities you kind of live in a life of anonymity, even though you're surrounded by hundreds of thousands of people. In the country, you know everybody and you know everything. So I think we're just more aware. And so people might think it's a bigger issue, but it's actually, we're just more aware. So it's not, percentage wise, it's not a bigger issue. But we have a really good community. There's always a few people that you wish you could kind of pluck from the garden and sit over the other side of the fence. But, it takes all kinds to make the world go around, and it just seems they always like to buy the parcel of land right next to me. But it's okay. I cope. Got to get into my meditative state and accept these issues that I have. But we do have a good community. We have a good place. So I think they're going to have a good turnout. And I think it's going to be a good vibe. And it's going to be a good family thing that they're starting and going to continue to do every year. So a lot of stuff is in Morgan County that's like fun to go to. One of the biggest things is the prison. Now they've turned the prison into like a concert venue and a tourism and a brewery. And so a lot of people now, I paroled some of the last people to parole out from Brushy Mountain before it shut down. And now it's a tourism business. And I've been told that he's like, hey, you can come back and you can speak and you can talk. And he's like, you can tour for free. And he's like, we'll be glad to have you. And I was like, I'm a retired parole officer. If I walk the halls of a shut down prison that has a lot of hauntings, I will have to mentally prepare for that for a while. But it is like, I knew, I grew up with the old warden, Herman Davis. Like, he was like a bonus grandpa to me. So I grew up and I knew all about the prison and knew the history and kind of, I guess, had more insight into that world than most people did. But he had horses. He had a big horse farm, and my father was his farrier. And so our family spent a lot of time together. And I was always, like, when I was little and couldn't understand why when we went to his house, he had armed guards. I was like, Dad, why do we have to go through a security gate? And then as I got older, I understood. And I actually still visited him. I was able to visit him about 10 months before he passed. He lives about an hour and 25 minutes away because it's windy roads, back roads. And when I would get over there in the area for work or have a training, I would come back and I would stop at his house. And every time I stopped, his Chihuahua Zero bit me. Whoever has Zero, the Chihuahua now, that dog hates me. But I would always stop and visit with him. And the last time I saw him, he was on oxygen, but he was still just as cantankerous and telling me all the stories and just as sweet as he ever was. And I knew a very different side to him than probably most people knew. But he was a very kind, humble, and gracious man. But he was John Wayne. I'm telling you, he could put on a face and get through anything. And you couldn't read him if he didn't want you to read him. You couldn't read him. and I was always mesmerized by him because I saw those polarizing aspects when he was with my family and when he was in public. And so I picked up on that at a very early age. And I was always mesmerized by how he could just turn off any readable signals in John Wayne, anybody, and get through anything. And I was just always mesmerized and just taken back by that. He was a very special man. And there's actually some YouTube videos of Herman Davis, Warden Herman Davis, and of him being interviewed about the James Earl Ray and all that stuff. Go watch them. They're pretty neat. He was a cantankerous old cuss, but he was a sweetie pie to me, and I miss him. He was a very nice man. Gosh, that took me back. But David's going to be in that area today. And I have a lot of friends over there, and I've actually had a lot of old co-officers that I was actually hoping to bump into today. But it just wasn't meant to be. My health is most important, so I will stay home and worry about me today and my kitchen that desperately needs attention. And we'll shoot for the next one. David did decide to take mostly the fur and the fur arts. He is not sure how to haggle about my jewelry with people, and I said, that's okay. I understand. So a lot of my jewelry will be going straight to Etsy within the next few days because he did not want to try to answer questions about jewelry without me there today. So a lot of my Cody Tooth jewelry will be going straight to Etsy. So if you're wanting some of the dangled or some of the different backs, they will be posted probably by Wednesday. And I do have clip-on backs ordered for beaded options. And as soon as they come in, I will be making some beaded options to put up. I've got to keep my fine motor skills advancing, and I'm finding that the wire wrapping and the beading are two of the better physical therapy options for me for my fine motor skills and for the Parkinsonian tremor that I sometimes get. And so I'm trying, like I'm better. Like my hands, I still tried to type the other day, and I cannot type like I used to. I used to type 108 words per minute. Can't do it now. But I don't have the tremor like I used to. And a lot of it is just rebuilding the muscle memory in the fine motor scale. So a lot of this beading and stuff, my doctor's very adamant I continue. The wire wrapping, he's like, it's great for strength and dexterity. He's like, to keep doing it. So this is like my physical therapy. And if I make something pretty enough that David thinks will sell and he's like, put it on Etsy, I take that as a huge compliment because this is literally something I'm just doing to try to better my health and to regain a little bit of lost function that I miss and want back. So I'm just tickled that I've been doing as well as I've been doing. And I'm looking forward to this summer so much because of it. And I have so many beautiful flowers started in my kitchen that I get to move out next week. And already, the yard needs to be mowed again. Everything's greening up. And so this is the time of year where I really do feel a rebound. But this year, I feel a rebound plus something else. And I don't think I'm the only one. I think a lot of people in the world are feeling it. I think a lot of people in the world are more aware. I think a lot of people are understanding the moment that you're living right now is very precious because we have a lot of people that don't think we deserve it. And so I think a lot of people are very much more aware of where they're putting their energy and what they're doing with their time. And I know I certainly have been with all the health problems I've had, plus social stress. I certainly have become much more attuned to how I spend my days and what I'm spending my days on and how I'm fixating what I'm fixating on and should I be and pulling myself from the negative, going back to the positive and putting the information in my brain that I need rather than focusing on stupid, dumbed down stuff that is being force fed to us. I'm very much going back to the way that my granny and grandma lived life and looked at their pasture as a salad bowl and looked at the woods as a medicine cabinet and looked at the things around them as a gift and a resource and not something to maintain or I'm trying to bring in more honeybees this year. I'm trying to bring in more of the red-breasted bluebirds this year. I love them. I have like 6 nesting pairs here, and I want more. They don't have a lot of places they nest here. I'm trying to bring more of them in, and so I'm doing more stuff that like my older generations worried about, and I'm planting flowers this year that I can make fresh teas from, that I can dry and keep and keep tea leaves for the winter. And I'm doing more. I'm finding I'm just doing more the common sense way, that it's like, oh yeah, this is what granny and great grandma taught me. This is what I saw them do. And it's just coming more naturally to me now as I age myself. And a lot of that I think is natural progression for most people. But for me, I think it's been spurred a lot by my health and the energy shift that I feel in society. And I mean, I feel a huge energy shift in society. And so people are like, all the time when I start talking about that, they're like, oh, that's weird. Don't talk about that stuff. You're like a hippie. And I'm like, no, like you use your energy every day. When you walk down the street and someone's walking towards you and you don't, it's like playing chicken. You use your energy to see who's going to part and move. I mean, you use your energy in everything you do. And, and I just don't think we've been aware, or as aware. I don't think as a society we've been aware. I think we're growing more aware now. And I feel almost resentful of the years that I spent in college and climbing out of the mountains and trying to better myself, because through that betterment, all I did was create stress. David just texted me. He has arrived. He's there. All I did was create stress, create a burden upon my family with the occupational hazards and the jobs I had, harm my body with the occupational hazards and the jobs I had, run myself to death, and be around toxic people. And now since when I became disabled, it shifted me, because I was always known as this big, powerful woman that, don't tangle with her, respect her. I was a balanced person in the community. I was treat me as you want to be treated. And I had a good name, and I was known as a no nonsense, but very compassionate, helpful person. But I was known as a powerhouse, and watch out for me. Do not provoke me. And so when my health, basically crippled me, and I couldn't walk around like a little baby rooster anymore with my chest puffed out, I had to think about who I am. And I know who I am at the root, but I had to wear a mask for so many years at work. It was hard to know, who I was for a long time. I had to play a role in order to do that job and do it well, and not be overcome with the toxic stress and everything of being a parole officer and working with murderers and dangerous people. And so what is a bad thing? Being disabled is a bad thing. It's not a good thing. Losing your career and your income is not a good thing. But the positives have been, I've had to get in touch with me. I've been able to put that mask down and figure me out again. And I've been able to go back and kind of return to my roots, which, with where society is going, has been a very healthy and helpful emotional asset. So I can't complain. You got to find the positives. And I think I'm always learning. And I think when I try to not learn, that Jesus just smacks me and goes, learn, stupid. And I end up having to learn anyway. I think I really aggravate Jesus sometimes. I think him and God some days are like, oh my gosh. But I'm learning, and I'm paying attention. I finally feel like I have my eyes a little bit more open, and I'm not as concerned about presentation of self as I am possession of self. We'll just say that. I don't think a lot of people truly possess their own life. And so I'm just, I'm simple, but I'm really happy to be simple. Simplicity is a very difficult thing to attain. So for everybody thinks it's easy, it's not. But it's very rewarding. but it's very difficult today. And I'm trying to learn that balance. I miss the target most days, but I'm trying. So David is there. He's setting up. I'm going to have him send me some pictures to see kind of what it looks like, where they've got him set up and stuff. And I'm going to attack my house. And if they have a remarkable day, I'll post a couple videos or pictures. Otherwise, I'll just do a community post later to let you know how the day went. But do expect a video by Tuesday at the latest. If I have a big day tomorrow and I have a good day, possibly an end of Sunday, Mother's Day vlog to celebrate Mother's Day, but absolutely by Tuesday evening, because I'm going to be going down under the mountain again to visit. And may steal Dad's little, side by side and go take a tour and show you all the cows. I may take Dad and the side by side because there's a big bear down there. So I'll take Dad and the side by side and show you the cows. But I want to share a little bit more of the land down there. So I'm going to, he'll drive and I'll video. That's the plan. So I'm going to take a break, check in with Dave, do my dishes. I may make some more jelly this evening. But wherever you are, try to have a good day. Even if it's ugly like it is here, it's still a blessing. The mist that stays around today is going to help the flowers by the end of the week because it's going to be 80 plus here. I just have to remember that when I have these days. And make sure that tomorrow you tell your mom or whoever played that role in your world, in your life, celebrate them, tell them that you love them, and spend time with those that you love. And I will be doing that with my mother Monday or Tuesday. And if she'll let me, I'll video her more. She's so scared of the camera. But I just think she's beautiful because she's got the dark olive complexion. And even though her hair is gray, you can still see it was very raven black when she was young. And I like for people to see the differences within us because I'm very much my father's daughter, but I have a lot of my mother's personality. So I'm a good mixture. But when people meet me and my mom, I think that for a minute they wonder if I'm her daughter or if I'm just like some stranger that's following her around. Because my mother is so peaceful and passive and kind, and I'm loud and rambunctious and covered in ink. And so I think sometimes they're like, what? When they realize I'm her daughter, they're like, it doesn't compute. But I always think that's funny. But I do have a personality and her love of education and her love of culture and heritage. And I have my dad's sense of humor and bull in a china shop way of handling things sometimes. So I'm just a juxtaposition of both of them. I think I got the best qualities of both. So I'm just going to go ahead and just tell my brother that I'm the best sibling. But Monday and Tuesday, whatever day I get down there, should be a fun day. It's supposed to be pretty. So we'll see what happens. Everybody wish David good luck today. Send good vibes out to people. Tell somebody today you love them. Tell somebody that's unexpected. Give them a compliment. Say something nice. Do something kind for somebody. Put some good energy out there. And something I'm fixing to go and eat this nanner. Gonna eat this nanner. And then I'm gonna do my dishes. So I will see you later. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me. Love yous. I'll talk to you soon.